my name is Moody Solomon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Ripe Labs, formerly known as Sticks Fresh. And we are an award-winning food and crop protection company developing and commercializing biomimicry solutions to combat global food waste naturally and safely. And so first, let's take just a quick look at global food waste and try to quantify it. So over the next 15 minutes, by the time I'm done with this presentation, we will have wasted enough food to feed 15 million people. And if food waste was a country, it would have the third largest carbon footprint behind China and the US. And interestingly enough, too, if reducing food waste would be the third most impactful action to target climate change. So obviously, we're talking about a monumental problem here that affects literally every single person on the face of this planet. On average, 33% of all the food we produce goes to waste. This amounts to over $2.6 trillion in losses every year, and it includes about $700 billion of environmental costs and $900 billion of social costs. That food waste is observed across all food groups, but typically we see the highest wastage rates for fruits and vegetables. On average, we estimate that about 10 to 20% of food waste is attributed to post-harvest disease or pathological damage. So basically, when the food is prematurely rotting, whether it's on the shelf or in your fridge, this is due to pathological damage. Now those food losses are experienced all across the supply chain, from the farm all the way down to the consumer. We are here at Ripe Labs specifically focused on the distributor segment because this is where there's the highest wastage percentage. There's where we have large global and centralized customers and operations. And we're also targeting the retail because from the retail, the global retailers, of course, they have the large global footprint, but there's also the pull effect where the retailers can go up the supply chain and pull in the suppliers. And so to really introduce a technology that is going to be not just economical, but also easy to adopt throughout the entire supply chain, we really had to come up with an innovative solution that was really going to change the face of this market. And so what we've done here at Ripe Labs is we have developed a formulation that can be applied to a variety of surfaces, including stickers, to increase the shelf life of fresh produce. So to see it here firsthand, we have two mangoes side by side. This has not been edited. This is just a time-lapse video that we ran. As you can see, the mango on the left is non-treated. The one on the right has a sticker on it where our technology is applied. And as you'll notice here, at about day 14, the mango on the left starts to prematurely rot, while the one to which we applied the sticker is a lot more resistant to the premature rotting. And so the question on everyone's mind, how in the world do we do this? How can you apply a sticker to just one part of the fruit and extend its shelf life and prevent it from prematurely rotting? So plants have been naturally producing these volatile compounds for millions of years to protect themselves. These compounds are volatile by nature, so they'll vaporize and they'll actually protect the plant at a distance. So think of, for example, if you walk by a lavender plant and you can smell the lavender, that's actually a secondary metabolite that the plant is releasing, not just perhaps to attract pollination, but also to protect itself from other invasive species, including fungi and bacteria. And so what we do at Ripe Labs that's particularly unique is that we can identify the compounds that fight specific post-harvest diseases in the vapor phase. And we take these very same compounds, we engineer a controlled release delivery system that can be applied to a variety of surfaces that can include stickers, sachets, sheets. And we then offer that solution to our customers to be able to apply them with minimal disruption throughout their supply chain. And so ultimately what we've done at Ripe Labs is we've taken what nature has been naturally producing for millions of years to protect itself, and we've been able to repurpose that to fight post-harvest disease, thus extending the shelf life of fresh produce and reducing food waste significantly. So how do we do that? How do we take our concept, our product from lab bench to store shelf? So first we start by working very closely with our customer, sourcing their fruits and identifying which fungal strains and which pathogens are actually growing on their produce and resulting in the premature rotting. We then screen that against our proprietary library and develop specific formulations that target specific post-harvest diseases for the high-value, short shelf life produce. We then engineer a controlled release delivery system to extend the release rate of these volatiles over time. We then work very closely with our customers to identify which product formats are going to fit their supply chain with minimal disruption. And that's really important because a lot of the solutions that are currently out there in the industry today are very limited in terms of how they can be applied or when they can be applied. So by working on customizing the application of our formulation, we can actually really encourage the ease of adoption for our customers down the line. And then finally, we run the co-pilot studies with our customers, and the end result is to deliver a novel and customized application. So what we're creating at Ripe Labs is this proprietary library of effective patent pending formulations, which you see here at the top, against produce from all over the world and the specific fungal pathogens that are growing from that produce. And the reason why this is particularly unique, especially with our customized product formats, is when you look at these customers that we're working with, the distributors, they have highly automated, high throughput production lines that process, in some cases, up to 4 million pieces of fruit per day, right? And so those are extremely expensive production lines, highly automated, high throughput. And so to introduce a technology that is going to fit with minimal disruption, you need to be able to really identify key areas within their supply chain where the application of the solution makes most sense. Hence, for example, with the stickers, by simply applying our formulation to the surface of the sticker, the existing sticker that's applied to the produce, we're essentially not introducing anything new that's not already there into the supply chain. And as early as last year, we started to launch our pilot studies with a growing number of global customers. Our primary focus, again, has been around the distributor segment as well as the retail segment. And we've been working with some of the largest Hass avocado producers and distributors in the world, some of the largest citrus fruit producers in the world, and global retailers. Interestingly here, as highlighted in the slide, there are other potential applications of the technology, whether it's at the farm level or even with cut flowers. Interestingly enough, cut roses experience the very same issues that we have with fresh produce. Those are currently under investigation, but our primary focus are the distributors and the retailers for fresh produce to begin with. And some of the highlights from our pilot studies is we have been able to actually reduce losses anywhere from 15 to 30% up to 7 days on the different types of fruits. For example, here what you see are strawberries, 15% reduction after 2 days, blueberries, 25% reduction after 7 days, and with nectarines, 30% reduction after 7 days. And when you extrapolate these numbers over the enormous production volumes that these distributors have, it will inevitably result in millions of tons of saved food that we can prevent from going to the landfills. And the beauty of this is the benefit that our customers see actually extend beyond just the economical one. So of course it will increase revenue, it will reduce costs or it'll chop costs. But our customers are also, due to the fact that they're in the food industry, very quality and reputation focused. And by guaranteeing or enhancing the quality of their produce, we can help them maintain a strong quality focused reputation. It also has the potential to expand supply chain flexibility. By extending the shelf life of the produce, they can actually pick the fruit while it's closer to ripening with less fear of it prematurely rotting. In some cases, it can open new markets. For example, we're working right now with a customer out of New Zealand that is looking at shipping their products to China. And they have to meet very strict quality controls in order for the product to pass and be received in China. And with our technology, it can potentially open up this new market for them. And last but not least, reduce the carbon footprint. Again, in terms of mass, food waste accounts for the largest portion of landfills. And within food waste, fruits and vegetables represent the largest portion of food waste. So this is another added benefit of the technology. And as with all companies, we have a great team here at Ripe Labs that is working every day to try to bring this technology to market. And with that, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity and thank you.